Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Now in today's video we are going to be doing another unboxing, and this unboxing is yet again a pretty sizable one. Any unboxing where you see my face when I'm doing it in this kind of format, you know it's going to be kind of either a big one or a pretty exciting one. Usually I do my 1 to 200 unboxings like this, and with that being said, there are some 1 to 200 models in this box. However, you would have seen them last week. As you know, I like to kind of do a separate video dedicated to the 1 to 200 aircraft, and then I kind of do this unboxing, which is kind of getting those models out of the box. But also in this one, we have a lot of 1 to 400 models as well. I believe this is the September Gemini Jets releases, either September or October, I'm not really sure. It's one of the Gemini Jets releases. And then as well as that, we also have a couple NG models that are thrown in there as well. They're kind of the ones that haven't really found their way to me. I believe one of those ones is my second United 737-800 from NG, the second release version that is. I believe that's in there, and you know what, without further ado, I'm just going to bring the box onto screen. It's a big one, as I say, from the aircraft model store. Here it is. It's, as you can see, it's pretty big. I don't think there's enough space to kind of show me unboxing it here, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to open it, then put it off to the side, and then kind of bring the planes in progressively as I open this. But yeah, as I say, this box is from the aircraft model store. I highly recommend them. I've been using them for years, and honestly, they just haven't let me down so far, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be no exception. So without further ado, let's get the scissors and open this box. There's this side, and then the other side. There we go. One thing about this unboxing is, for me, it's currently Christmas Eve. Yes, I'm recording this pretty far in advance. You're probably seeing this about 2 weeks into 2021, so how's 2021 going? I'm still in 2020 right now, so being Christmas Eve, this is almost like an early Christmas present for me. Of course, I did buy these, so it's not much of a Christmas present, but it's pretty exciting nevertheless. And we can open the box now and reveal all of the planes. Wow, this box is deep, I can say that. I've got the confirmation letter here, and I can tell you, I'm excited about this one. I'm really excited about this one. There are some models in here that I've wanted for a very long time, and I can't wait to unbox them. Okay, and with the box over there, we can now reveal what the models are. So starting off, we've got a bunch of packaging. And the first model we have is the Gemini Jets United Airlines Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner. Now, as you know, my kind of aim for the United 787s, I was going to get one of the NG version and then one of the Gemini version. I currently have the NG 787-10 and the NG 787-9. I then got this one. I believe the 787-9 has been released, but I don't have it yet from Gemini Jets. So I've ordered one of these to complement my NG version, and then I've ordered one of the 787-9s from Gemini Jets to complement my NG 787-9. And then, as NG don't actually have a 787-8 mold currently, I'm actually going to be getting 3 of the Gemini Jet 787-8s in the new livery whenever they come out. However, despite that being the case, I don't think we're going to get a model of the 787-8 very soon, because a lot of the United 787-8s aren't in the new livery yet. But that is the first model. I will go over these in detail later, but I'm just going to kind of get them all out of the box first and then go through them in detail. So we've got the first model there. It's a very exciting one. Next up, we have another pretty exciting one. This is the Gemini Jets British Airways A350-1000. Now, as many of you know, I do actually have another 2 British Airways A350-1000s, the older Gemini Jets one and the Phoenix one as well. I'm not happy with them though. The Phoenix one has an awful mold, and the Gemini Jets one, it's not that bad, but it's missing a lot of key features, a lot of realistic features. It was one of the models that came out before British Airways actually got the A350. So this one is the up-to-date one. This one has all the correct markings, it has all the correct antennas. I'll probably get out my other British Airways A350s to kind of compare them in this video and kind of show you where the old Gemini Jets one went wrong. It went wrong in quite a few places, but at least I now have this one to kind of complete my fleet. Okay, next up we have another model that a lot of you probably wouldn't expect me to get, and this is the Lufthansa A340-300 in the new livery. Now sadly, the A340s, 747s, basically any 4-engined airliner They're kind of going down the drain a little bit with 2020. I believe Lufthansa do have plans to retire these. However, I really wanted to get one of these. I only currently have one A340-300, and it's honestly one of my favorite wide-body aircraft. Basically, any aircraft with 4 engines is going to be my favorite. And yeah, I really like the A340-300, and these did used to fly to Dallas quite a lot. I don't think we got many in the new livery, of course. We got a lot in the old livery at Dallas. I know there were times where these used to fly the Frankfurt route and the Munich route, so you used to actually see 2 of these A340-300s at Dallas at one time. Of course, we're looking back towards the 2000s there. But this one, of course, in the new livery, as I said, this one hasn't come to Dallas as much. But I just really wanted to get it. It's another Lufthansa plane. I do have quite a few Lufthansa planes, and I just wanted to kind of complete that fleet. And also on top of that, I've kind of gone on a trend of buying every wide-body aircraft that Gemini Jets produce from Lufthansa. The only exception to that is the A380. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty cool model, and I can't wait to unbox this. But without further ado, we'll move on to our next model. Okay, and next up we have a model that a lot of you will probably be expecting me to get. As many of you know, a couple months ago I went on a bit of a spending spree and I bought all of the existing interactive series aircraft, and so I wanted to keep up the trend of having every interactive series aircraft. So when Gemini Jets produced this new one, I really wanted to get it. This is the interactive series UPS 747-8F. I know a lot of you really enjoyed my review on the 4 interactive series aircraft that I do currently have, and so this one is going to be the 5th one, and I'm going to try to keep on this trend of buying every one that Gemini Jets produce. Okay, and next up we have the 2nd P-8 Poseidon. This is the one I initially ordered first but didn't come for a very long time. This is the Royal Air Force P-8 Poseidon. I do currently have the US Navy P-8 Poseidon. I was pretty impressed with the Gemini Jets mold of the P-8. I was a bit hesitant because this is the kind of model that goes wrong with Gemini Jets. The type of model where it's a 2-piece wing design and a lot of antennas, a lot of things that could go wrong. But Gemini Jets actually did a really good job on the US Navy P-8 Poseidon, so I will continue to buy the Gemini Jets version of the P-8 Poseidon over the Panda models version. I do hope to get the Australian one, the New Zealand one, and some various other ones that do come out, but I'm very glad I do have this. This is the Royal Air Force P-8 Poseidon, of course, got to represent the Royal Air Force there. I believe they're getting quite a few of these. I can't remember exactly how many, but that's pretty cool. That's going to be a great addition to the collection. Next, of course, we do have the 1NG model for this unboxing. We have the NG models, United 737-800, and one pretty interesting thing that when I unboxed the first one of these that I got, someone in the comments pointed out that actually on the back of the box, this aircraft doesn't have wings. Do you see that? The aircraft doesn't actually have wings in the artwork on the back of the box, which is very weird indeed. This is of course my 2nd NG United 737-800 and my 5th new livery 737-800. This now puts my United 737 fleet up to 8, so that's pretty cool. This is my 8th United 737. I do again want to get more of these new liveries. If NG or Gemini Jets do produce any more of these plain new livery aircraft, I will definitely get these. These are probably one of the most common aircraft at Washington Dallas. With the exception to the ERJ-145, that is by far the kind of the mosquito of Dallas. Not that it's an annoying plane, but just because it comes in masses. I would love for a company to release an ERJ-145, but as we know, it's the same story with the American CRJ-900, the Delta CRJ-900. It's not going to happen anytime soon. And so this right here is the 1 to 400 section of this unboxing. These are the models I will be going over in detail, but before we do that, I have to unbox some other aircraft that of course I'm very looking forward to. So moving these off to the side now, we have the Gemini 200 British Airways 747-400, and we do not only have one of these, but we also have a second one. Now by the time you're seeing this, I would have made a dedicated video to these 2 aircraft. If you do want to see that, I will link that at the end of this video, but for now, for the rest of this video, we're going to go into detail on these, and then after that, if you want, you can go and check out this video if you haven't seen it already. Okay, and with that being said, we can now go into detail on these models. Okay, and now moving on to the main proper unboxing. We've unboxed the aircraft from the big box, they're now in their individual boxes, and we're going to go through these individually. I think we're going to start from kind of the most boring to the one that I'm kind of looking forward to the most. So we're going to start off with the NG United 737-800. I'm not going to go through this model in detail because I did an unboxing on this exact same aircraft, the exact same molds, exact same registration, everything like that in a previous video. I'll link that at the end or something like that if I remember. But I'm not going to go through this aircraft in detail just because I've already done an unboxing of this aircraft before. I'm basically just going to open the box and check that it's all in good working condition. Opening the box up here, we have the model inside there. I don't expect this to be broken. NG have done a pretty good job on all of their 737s. To be honest, all NG models pretty much always come okay. Apart from the A321s, they occasionally come broken. And then the A350s, it's kind of too early to tell at the moment, but the A350s aren't looking in the best of shapes at the moment. Not only because of my EasyJet A350, but I've also seen some reviews of some other A350s that have come broken as well. So it's going to be interesting as I get more of the NG A350s. I have ordered quite a few of them. We'll have to see how they turn out. But the 737s, they're usually okay. We've got the plastic sheet on the top of the model, and then in here we have my 5th United 737-800 in the new livery. Looks really, really good. Of course, I do wish that I had all 5 NG versions, but sadly I do have 3 of the Gemini versions which aren't as great. But I'm just glad that I have some of these NG variants in my collection now. I'm going to put this off to the side. You know what, in fact, since we have such a large kind of area to work with, I'm going to put that model back there, and then we can move on to the next model. The second model is the second and last narrow body for this unboxing, and also the only military aircraft in this unboxing. We have the Royal Air Force P-8 Poseidon. Again, we've established with the US Navy version that the P-8 Poseidon mold is actually okay from Gemini Max. And as there's not much of a variation between the liveries, again, I won't go through this model in great detail, but I will of course give it that once over. Of course, we've got the classic Gemini Max box with this kind of metal pattern. Again, I'm starting to feel like this box design is feeling a little bit aged. It kind of looks a bit like 2000-y with that kind of like 3D generated metal pattern. I don't know what would look better than this though. It is a pretty cool design, but maybe some kind of just solid grey would look better. I'm not really sure. It just seems weird that the Gemini Jets boxes are kind of starting to be a little bit more minimalist, yet the Gemini Max boxes haven't changed their designs in I don't even know how long. But opening up the box here, we have the cradle containing the model. You can see in there we have the aircraft. And taking the top of the cradle off of the box here, we have indeed another 2.0 for Gemini Jets. This is a pretty decent model. It's not broken and everything seems firmly in place. Okay, so here we have my 2 P-8s so far. We have the Royal Air Force one and the US Navy one. Again, they look pretty much identical apart from, of course, the different logos. We've got all the same antennas, same everything. I don't think there is anything different apart from the logos, of course. We have the nose of the aircraft here with the black painted very tip of the nose. One thing I did find out about why a lot of military aircraft actually have a black nose is apparently this is some kind of special paint they put on there, because of course the radar is stored in the nose of the aircraft, so apparently that paint helps the radar kind of work better. Then here of course we have the cockpit windows with the 01. I believe this is the first P-8 Poseidon that the RAF have, hence the number 01 there. We've got the L1 door there, the forward landing gear. Then we've got the Royal Air Force logo there, the kind of like the newer kind of designed Royal Air Force logo there compared to the older variants. Then moving to the middle of the aircraft here, we've got all these antennas. I love the aircraft with all the antennas, just like the E4B. I know that aircraft has a ton of antennas as well, and basically any military aircraft. I just like how intricate it looks. It looks really, really detailed. It just makes a model look pretty good. Then on the wings here, as you can see, we've got the enhanced kind of winglets for the P-8 Poseidon, as well as the Royal Air Force logo on the wing there. And then moving to the rear of the aircraft here, we have the RAF logo with the registration of the aircraft, 01, and then the little RAF kind of emblem up there with the red and the blue. Now I believe each RAF P-8 Poseidon is getting its own name, named after a town. This one is called the Pride of Moray. Now I believe Moray is a place in Scotland. I know these are actually going to be based in Scotland, so I believe they are all going to have Scottish town names. And this one, being the first one, is called the Pride of Moray. It looks really nice, and you can kind of see here, if I put the US Navy one back into position, you can kind of see like a long line of these looking really, really good. Of course, when we do another Andrews Air Force Base, I would love to have both of these, and maybe if we get even more by then, I'd love to have them all kind of like lined up in a row. They look really, really good. And again, I can't wait to get more of them. So with that, we're going to move on to the next model. I'm going to put this model back with the United 737. And you know what the heck, we're going to put the US Navy one back there as well. And now that we have concluded the narrow bodies of this unboxing, we can now move on to the wide bodies, starting with the Gemini Jets Lufthansa A340-300. This of course comes in this classic kind of Gemini Jets Lufthansa box, basically ever since probably like 2 years ago. Every Lufthansa aircraft that Gemini Jets has released, they've released in this kind of like silver box with this blue. It looks really good. I would love to see Gemini Jets do this to more airlines. I don't know whether Gemini Jets did this because of pressure from people like NG and Phoenix, whose models, you know, each box is different. And you have to admit, this does look good. Although it is still the simplistic design, it does look pretty good. I love this kind of silver design. They tried to do something similar with Air France as well, with like a light blue box. That one doesn't look as good. This one looks sleek and modern, and it resembles the livery as well. The Air France one, not so much, but I would love to see them kind of do this to more airlines. But with that being said, we have the box, of course. It is literally the same as every other box. It's just in kind of just different colors. So we've got silver for everywhere where the blue was on the regular box. And then we've got this kind of like dark blue color on the back as well, which of course resembles the Lufthansa livery. The other thing that's different, of course, is they actually have the registration. Gemini Jets don't actually usually include the registration on their boxes, but they do on the Lufthansa boxes. And then of course we've got the clip out of the aircraft on the front there. We can open up the thing to reveal the aircraft. Now, as I said previously, I only have one A340-300, and I bought that a very long time ago. In fact, it was one of my first aircraft I got. I think it was in 2013 when I bought that one. And so I'm not sure how the mold has changed. I know the A330 mold has changed. I'm hoping this one hasn't. But opening the top of the cradle here, and we can reveal the model. Got the plastic on the top there, and then here we have the model. Wow, this is actually pretty cool. Now the wings are slightly more flexed, but these wings I don't think are to the same kind of angle as the other A330s we have. Of course, if you don't know, the new Gemini Jets A330 mold is not very nice. The wings are kind of flexed a very long way, and as you can see, this one, it does have quite a bit of wing flex, but I don't think it is as much as the A330. I may be mistaken on that, but there we go. Taking a look at this model in detail now, of course, it is the new Lufthansa livery, so it is very, very Euro white. We have, starting off the front here, we have the A340 nose, the Lufthansa logo there, the cockpit windows, the Star Alliance logo, the L1 door, the L2 door, the Lufthansa titles. We've got the only spot of yellow left on the Lufthansa kind of livery. These are like, I believe these just say like welcome on board or something like that, as you kind of enter the aircraft from these doors. We've got the forward landing gear here. Moving on to the center of the aircraft, we have kind of the engine section. We have these two engines. They look pretty good, and we've got this wing, of course. It does have quite a bit of wing flex, but not drastic wing flex. I'm still undecided on whether I like this amount of wing flex or not. Then up here we have one of the drawbacks of this model. We have the Wi-Fi box with this kind of ugly grey brown kind of colour. Now I don't believe this is what they're like on the real Lufthansa livery. I believe this is just what they look like over time with weathering. I don't think they should have added that kind of detail, because the fact that these models aren't weathered anyway, I don't think you should have one kind of isolated piece that is weathered, if that makes sense. So although this is what they do look like on the real aircraft, I believe they should kind of just have what it looks like when it's fresh out of the hangar. Then on the bottom of the aircraft, of course, we've got the classic A340 landing gear with the one wheel in the middle of the aircraft there with the Gemini Jets logo, and of course the stand hole. One thing I love about the A340-300, I'm not sure if all of them have this, but definitely the Air France and Lufthansa ones do. You can see the arrows on the bottom of the engines, they look pretty cool. And then finally moving to the rear of the aircraft here, we've got the registration with the German, and I believe that's the EU flag as well. We've got the rear door here, some of the antennas, and of course the classic Lufthansa tail. Again, this is a pretty good model. It does have its discrepancies, including the Wi-Fi box and the kind of tilted wings here, but overall it's not that bad. I would buy this again if I needed another one, that is. At least it came in one piece, that's all I'm gonna say. And with that being said, we can now move on to our next model, which is the Gemini Jets United Airlines Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner. Of course, we're back to the regular Gemini Jets box design. We've got the blue in the background, the clip art of the aircraft United. Boeing 787-10. Then on the back of the box here, we've just got all the details. The sides of the box, they're just the classic Gemini Jets sides of the box. And with that being said, let's go ahead and open this box. Taking the plastic off the top there, and then here we have the model. Okay, this is another one that's very greasy. If you don't know, I don't know why it's only some of the Gemini Jets models, but I believe there's this like coating they put on some models that just makes it really greasy. It almost feels wet. Obviously that's not a bad thing, it's probably like a protective coating, but what I don't understand is it's only on some models. Like that Lufthansa A340 didn't have this, and I occasionally get these models where they are like just this greasy texture. It's super weird, and I don't know why. I do know why it's on there. It's probably like a protective coating, as I said, but I just don't know why it's only on select models. Okay, so here we have the model. Again, I wasn't really expecting anything bad from this. Gemini Jets 787 mold is pretty good. And zooming in to take a closer look at this model here, we have the nose of the aircraft here, the 787 nose, which honestly no one really gets wrong. We've got the cockpit windows, which on the Gemini Jets mold are quite brown tinted. They're not actually black. I don't know if that comes across over the camera, but they are quite brown. Moving back here, of course, we've got the L1 door, the L2 door, the Star Alliance logo. Then we've got the, of course, the underbelly of the aircraft, which has this grey colour with the blue stripe following it. The massive United titles on here. We've got the Wi-Fi box, an antenna. Middle of the aircraft now, we've got the engines, of course, the big 787 engines. And then finally here, moving to the rear of the aircraft, we've got the registration here with the American flag, Dreamliner, the kind of like logo at the back there, the rear door, the kind of underbelly kind of swooping up towards the rear of the aircraft with the APU, and then here we have the tail, the amazing United new livery tail. Of course, I love the United new livery, it just looks so good. And all in all, it's a really good model, but one thing we got to compare it to is this. This is the NG version of the United 787-10, and there's honestly, these two models are really good. There are some minor details that are different, however. Overall though, these are two very nice aircraft, and honestly I would recommend either of these. These are both very high quality models, and again I would recommend either of these. And the next model up, we have the Gemini Jets Interactive Series UPS 747-8F. Now this one is my first proper unboxing of the interactive series. Of course, I never actually did a proper unboxing of my other ones. I just kind of reviewed them. But as you can see here, we've got the interactive series box. The other boxes are all the regular kind of design Gemini box. We just have the blue and the kind of like brown color down here. For UPS, I believe my UPS 767 came in a box like this. I'm not a huge fan of this design. It looks a bit tacky. I would have maybe put some kind of like yellow or even white just here instead of this blue. But as you can see, it does resemble the same kind of generic box design. It's just inverted colors as usual. We've seen Gemini Jets boxes a million times, so let's just go ahead and open this box. And you can see in here, this is how the interactive series aircraft arrive. You can see we've got all the alternate pieces in here, and There are 4 areas of the aircraft that can be openable. First, of course, we've got the nose. You can have it in a opened or closed position. We've then got the 2 undercarriage doors on the side here, and then we've got the main loading door on the back left of the aircraft here. And again, all of these doors you can have opened or closed. Taking the plastic off the top of the model here, here we have the actual model. So this is the model as it comes. You then have these 2 pieces for the nose. This is the closed piece, this is the open piece. I'm going to put it into the open configuration for now. So these just kind of stick into the 2 little pinholes by the cockpit there. We then have the main door here, which comes with this piece here, if I can get out of the box. This is the open piece. It's basically like a tray that just kind of like slots into this piece here. Okay, and we have the same problem as I had before. As you can see, because of how thick the tray piece is, it doesn't actually fit all the way. If you take the piece out and then kind of like sand down those kind of edges on the side of the piece, it then fits in all the way. Now for now, I'm just going to kind of put that in there as jank as it currently is, but that's just going to have to stay in there like that for now until I get around to sanding that piece. Now flipping the aircraft around, we have the 2 undercarriage doors to go in, and there we go. Those are the undercarriage pieces installed, as you can see, and that kind of consists of how these models work. Going through this model in detail now, of course, we've got the nose of the aircraft, which is currently in the upwards position. We do have the UPS logo on the underside of the nose piece there. We then have the cockpit windows there. Moving back, we have the only 3 windows on the freighter version of this aircraft. Worldwide services, as it says there. We've got the door to the cabin there, the forward landing gear. Moving to the middle of the aircraft now, we've got these huge 747-8 engines with the chevrons, and then a lot of white around this section. On the underside of the aircraft here, again, it's pretty white. We just got the Gemini Jets logo, the main landing gear, and the stand holes. And then here at the rear of the aircraft, we've got the tail of the 747-8 with the UPS logo, this like black/brown color, and then we've got the yellow, orange, golden kind of color kind of complementing the brown here, and then we've got the UPS logo on the tail, as I said. Again, another pretty cool model, and I can't wait to add this to my collection and include it in some of my Baltimore updates. But now moving on to the final aircraft of this unboxing, we have the Gemini Jets British Airways A350-1000. Again, the box is exactly the same design. This is the one kind of livery that does kind of suit this design. We've got the red, the white, and the blue, so it kind of suits the general Gemini Jets box design, ironically. And let's just go ahead and open this box. Now, hopefully this one isn't broken like the last Gemini Jets British Airways A350 I got. And taking out of the box now, it appears like it isn't. I have a little bit of a bashed up box there, but nothing too severe. And I have to say compliments to Gemini Jets for having an entire unboxing with no broken models. I have to admit, Gemini Jets are getting better at this no broken models shenanigans. This unboxing being a testament to that. I'm willing to give Gemini Jets another chance. They just got to keep up this kind of quality. But with that, let's move on to the detail of this model. Starting off, of course, at the nose of this aircraft here, we've got the A350 nose, which isn't the best from Gemini Jets, but it's a damn sight better than Phoenix and various other companies like that. It's a little bit on the pointy side, but it's okay. Then we've got the cockpit windows here with the mascara, some of the pitot tubes at the front there. We've got the blue underbelly of the aircraft there. We've got the L1 door, the L2 door with the little One World logos next to the doors here. Then we've got the British Airways titles under the windows there with the crown emblem, of course, on the A350. We then have the Speedbird check on the livery here, which is a very nice touch. Moving to the middle of the aircraft here, we have these Rolls-Royce engines as well as the main landing gear on the A350. And then one feature that, of course, I am welcoming with open arms is that kind of little detail on the winglets here. If you don't know, this little detail is something that Gemini Jets left out of their first edition British Airways A350s. Basically, the A350 they released before this, they actually brought out before British Airways had any A350, so little details like this that they implemented onto the real aircraft, Gemini Jets didn't implement that onto their first model. Then finally here at the rear of the aircraft, of course, we've got the registration with the Royal Mail logo there. This is Charlie. It actually works pretty well because the first edition Gemini Jets one is Alpha, the Phoenix one is Bravo, and then this one is Charlie. So I actually have the first 3 A350s that British Airways received. They are all different registrations, which is one of the reasons why I'm still hanging on to the Phoenix one and the first edition Gemini Jets one. Then above the registration here, we've got the Wi-Fi box, which is another thing, of course, Gemini Jets left out of the first edition mold. Again, I don't know why they left this one out. Of course, the placement of these could have been different or something like that. But of course, it would have had a Wi-Fi box. They just didn't put a Wi-Fi box anywhere on the mold. Then, of course, we've got the rear door here, the tail, and the APU at the back here. The amazing British Airways tail, that is. And with that being said, we can actually move on to my comparison of this one versus the first edition one. Now again, this won't be too long because there are only a couple features that are different, but of course we have a slight difference in the nose. I feel like there is. I don't know if you can see that. I feel like this one's a little bit more pointy. The engines on this one feel a little bit bigger, but the 3 details that I know that are different, of course, are the winglets. As you can see, these ones are just plain white winglets versus these ones, which are marked. The other difference, of course, is on the wings. Of course, you can see the little pontoon type things have a little red marker at the end of them. That's very similar to all of the British Airways aircraft. I believe all of, or most of them, have that little red marker at the end of the pontoons. But of course, the first edition one doesn't. They're just plain white, kind of like pontoons. And then finally, as you can see, this one doesn't have a Wi-Fi box, while this one does. Overall, this is a really nice model. I'm really glad I got this one. I might go for the Aviation 400 one. Again, I'm gonna see if I could get a good deal on that aircraft if it ever pops up. But for now, this one is the one I'm going to be using in airport updates. But with that being said, that does conclude this unboxing of all of these aircraft. I'm really happy with all of these. Of course, there are a few discrepancies among these, but overall these are really nice models and I'm very glad I got them. And with that, I want to thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.